Hello, boys and girls. This right here is the letter D. This is the lowercase d, and this is the uppercase D. And D makes the D sound. The D sound. It's the sound that you hear at the end of sad. So, since I said sad, and I hear the D sound, I'm going to write my D because I hear that at the end of the word. So what I did was I erased my dry erase board, and now I'm going to give you some words. If you hear the D at the end of the word, you need to write the D on your dry erase board. Ready? Here's your first one. Had. Say it with me. Ready? Had. Did you hear that D at the end of it? Write your lowercase d and give yourself a smiley face because you heard the D at the end of had. Here's another one. Ready? Sit. Say it with me. Sit. Did you hear a D at the end of that? No, that had the letter T. Here's another one. Lid. Say it with me, ready? Lid. Lid has that D, so we're going to make our lowercase d, and then we're going to give ourselves a smiley because we heard the D at the end of lid. Here's another one. Cap. Cap. Say it with me, ready? Cap. Was there a D at the end of that? No, there wasn't. So we don't do anything. Here's another word. Mad. Say it with me, ready? Mad. Did you hear the D at the end of that? Make your lowercase d and give yourself a smiley because you heard the D at the end of mad. Here is another one, ready? Man. Say it with me. Man. Was there a D at the end of that? No, there wasn't. So we're not going to do anything on our board. Here's another one. Sad. Say it with me, ready? Sad. I heard the D at the end, so I am going to make a lowercase d. And I'm going to give myself a smiley. Look, I have 1, 2, 3 D's over here, and I have 1 D over here. And if I put them all together, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 D's. 3 and 1 is 4 in all. So we found 4 D's in all. Good job, boys and girls. We're going to do another activity now. This is the letter D. D makes the D sound. This is the letter A. A makes the A sound. And then this is the letter D again. D still makes the D sound at the beginning or end. So we have D, A, D. Dad. Dad is the word. Let's look at another word. M makes the M sound. A makes the A sound. And D makes the D sound. So we have ad. Mad. The word is mad. Here is another one. This is the uppercase D, and it still makes the D sound. A makes the A sound, and N makes the N sound. So we have D, A, N. Dan. Dan is the word, and Dan is a boy's name. D makes the D sound, I makes the I sound, and then D makes the D sound again. D, id, did. Did is the word. D, I, M. D makes the D sound, I makes the I, M makes the Dim. Dim is the word. D, I, P. What sound does D make? Duh. What sound does I make? I. What sound does P make? P. Dip. Dip is the word. Okay, boys and girls, let's look at a couple of sentences now. For this sentence, we need to break it down and we need to blend the words so we can figure out what it says. And all of these letters we have had this year, so we should be able to blend these sounds together. To begin with, this word is a sight word of ours. What is this word? I. That word is I. That was one of our first words this year. A makes the I sound, M makes the sound. Am, I am. Now let's look at this one. N makes what sound? N. O makes R. T makes T. Let's blend it. Not. Not. I am not. Let's look at this last one. M makes the sound. A makes the I sound. And D makes the D sound. Mad. Mad. I am not mad. Read that with me. Ready? I am not mad. Good job. Let's look at this next sentence. Now, some of these words we're not going to sound out because some of them are our sight words. Let's look at this first one. D says D. A says I. D says D. Dad. Dad. Can. See. The. See, we didn't have to figure those out because those are our sight words. Dad can see the. Let's look at this last one. T says T. O says R. P says P. Top. Top. Dad can see the top. Read that with me nice and loud. Dad can see the top. Did you see how learning our sight words can help us with reading? Because we only had to sound out 2 words in that sentence. The rest of them were sight words that we've already learned. Let's look at another one. Now this one ends in this question mark, so this is asking a question. And look, here's a sight word we know, you, and here's a sight word we know, the. So we already know 2 of the words in this sentence. Let's figure out the others. D makes D, I makes I, D makes D. Id. Did. You. S makes I makes I. T makes T. Sit. Did you sit? on the mat. Mat. Did you sit on the mat? Read that with me and read it like you're saying a question. Ready? Did you sit on the mat? Good job, boys and girls. Hello again, boys and girls. You may see my face in some of this video, but I have it more where you can see this, what we're doing. So this is the letter D. D makes the D sound. And look at this picture. This is a deal. So deal begins with a D. So we're going to put it under the D section. And we'll put it down here. That way it doesn't cover up the letter. This is an O. O makes the R sound. This is an octopus. So we are going to put the octopus under the O because it begins with the R sound. Now we are going to look at some other pictures and you're going to tell me which section it goes under. Does it go under the D or does it go under the O? Look at this picture. This is an ox. Ox. Look at the beginning sound. Ox. Ox begins with the R sound that the O makes, so it goes under the O. Look at this next one. This is a doll. Doll. Think of that beginning sound. Doll begins with the D sound. So it goes under the D because the D makes that D sound. Look at this next one. Olive. Say it with me. Ready? Olive. What does olive begin with? It begins with an R sound, doesn't it? So it goes under the O because it begins with that R sound. Look at this one. This is a dime. Everyone say that with me. Ready? Dime. Dime. What does dime begin with? It begins with the D sound. Which letter makes the D sound? The D or the O? The D makes the D sound, so it goes under the D. What is this a picture of? It is a dinosaur. Everyone say it with me. Ready? Dinosaur. Dinosaur begins with what sound? The D sound. So it goes over here under the D's. And what is this a picture of? This is an otter. Everyone say it with me. Ready? Otter. An otter begins with what sound? The R sound. Does D or does O make the R sound? O does. So otter goes under the O. Thank you for doing this video with me today, boys and girls. Have a great day.